Hey, hi everyone. A very warm welcome for this session of In Conversation. So today we have Jasdeep Singh from Fidelity, industry stalwart, who is here to talk about the trends of AI in GCC with us with the lens of BFSI, right? Let me call upon Jasdeep to give a short introduction about himself. Jasdeep.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Ankit. Nice talking to you today. So, my name is Jasdeep. I lead the analytics research and data team at Fidelity. We have integrated data analytics AI research into one group, and we work across different business lines and business functions of Fidelity Investments from here.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So we all are aware that GCC and India, I think there's a very, very symbiotic relationship these days, right? There are around 1600 plus GCCs, and they are growing, leaps and bounds. And so is the AI mission, which is, associated with GCC. So I would want to start our conversation or, discussion and pick your brain on how you see the evolving trend of AI solutions, which is data and AI solutions, getting, conceptualized in India, generated in India. What are your views? Okay.
So interesting question. So I always believe always go to your strengths, go to the basics. So I believe the core value proposition of a GCC starts with delivering value, excellence in delivery. So with these in mind, I would say let's build on these. Use this next gen capabilities, be it data, analytics, AI, to build deeper solutions. And let's see what a GCC can do. So I have like four points on these. First, foster innovation. The pace of change is going to be very rapid. Now, people have talked about AI as the new internet. Some have even called it the new electricity. So we don't know how much of it will be true and at what pace, but it's very clear that the pace of change is going to be pretty high. With these in mind, I think GCCs have a unique opportunity to come up with solutions to particularly challenging problems. And that's something which will be an area where GCCs can drive this. Second, transform at scale. While innovation would be the right first step, but I think GCCs have to move beyond the POCs. And when I say move beyond POCs, the business wants scaled solutions, and that's what GCs should focus on. Because without that, sometimes even the investment economic justification of these investments don't come through. One unique advantage which GCCs have is that they work across the enterprise and they can use this vantage point to build solutions which can be deployed at scale. Number three, I would say talent development. There is going to be a huge need for people who are skilled in these areas. And as the demand for these skills grows, GCCs can provide the next set of practitioners in this area. And number four, the last one, I would say the whole ecosystem has to develop, and GCCs can take a lead on this. How GCCs work with their global businesses, with startup ecosystems, with industry bodies, with academia would play a part as to how we can accelerate the AI adoption. And when we accelerate the AI adoption, we would also have to do it in a responsible manner. So, in summary, I would say innovation, scale, talent development, and the whole ecosystem development are key. And GCCs have an advantage when it comes to making progress on these four.
Great. Thank you, Jasdeep. Good point, I think. So let me take it a bit more deep, right? So again, I think as we know, there's a lot of AI engineered solutions which are deployed in the financial sector, right? Last 1.5, 2 years have been a big, uproar in the whole AI world. Right? So what are the use cases you see which are emerging, which are transforming the financial sectors?
Okay. So I've seen, okay, across sectors in industries and not just BFSI, we have seen that companies, businesses which are focused on the customer are like almost customer obsessed, not only deliver a better experience, but are also more profitable and more successful. So with these in mind, I think BFSI companies can use the ever increasing capabilities of AI to develop deeper solutions. So let's see four areas I would say financial services company can focus on. First, I would say true personalization. So I'm not saying personalization is not happening, it's happening. Segmentation models have been there for quite some time, but how well do we know our customers, both from their short term needs and long term aspirations? And are we developing solutions which really talk to them? So when it comes to financial planning, credit scoring, making decisions, right decisions quickly, I think these technologies can play a part. Second, customer service. So, yes, a business may have a great product, but a lot of times the service, the experience, the engagement play a important part whether you would have that customer as a repeat customer or not. And I would say these technologies have a added advantage because if you can understand what the customer wants through what channel, it is possible to deliver a much better experience. So whether it comes to intent modeling, bots, virtual assistants, straight through processing, self-servicing, I think these technologies can help in all of these. Number three, it's not just about the customer. We need to use these technologies to also equip our associates who are dealing with the customers or managing internal functions so that they become more effective, more efficient, are able to spend the time in solving the right problems. So, how do we make everyone more effective, have the right insights to be able to do that? And last, but something which I think is the most important, financial services, trust is number one. If there is a business in this industry and the trust is not there, their business model is okay. I would say it doesn't even exist. I think when it comes to detecting fraud, reducing elder abuse, these technologies can go a long way in providing comfort to our customers that you are dealing with a company which is actually not just giving you great service and products, but also making sure that the number one thing they're doing is protecting you.
Great. I think these are very important four areas or probably use cases which you have told. Even I see, or most of them are the top ones which the BFS sector is getting adopted. So let's move on this trajectory, right? Let me ask you this thing, right? So suppose a GCC or a BFSI company, they have frozen a use case, right? Now, how do you see how they can effectively measure the impact, the ROI, and what are the metrics or indicators you think they should focus on?
Okay. So before I talk about the metrics, I will say, as is famously said, start with the why. What's the strategic objective of the use case initiative you are running? Right? How would the post solution world or scenario be different from the baseline scenario? What thing you are trying to change? Where does this initiative rank in your priority list? Are you trying to solve a critical problem or something which you feel that, okay, because you have the tool, you want to go and fix it? So making sure that going after high priority items is very, very important. When it comes to metrics, I believe we should have a robust framework, but yet it should be undaunting, because sometimes I've seen frameworks which are very robust, but it takes too much effort to even figure out what's happening where in the framework. That itself becomes a problem. So in my view, there are four kind of metrics, four groups of or categories of metrics I would focus on. First, obviously, is the business impact, the value, the ROI, to see how much of what change you are going to bring in, what is the value, and the values here, both the short term, the long term, first order, second order, third order. There should be a way to measure those. Second category is what are you influencing? Are you influencing loyalty? Are you influencing how the work gets done? Would it enable you to develop new products? Would it help you to change the way you do work, business function? So what in a way you are going to influence and make it better? So that's the second category of metrics we look at. And third, I would say, is how are you innovating? Are you looking at some things which are very new? As I said, the new models keep coming, the new ways of things are happening around you. How are you incorporating these new technologies? Are you still using something which probably the industry has already solved for and you're still trying to do it the old way? So some metrics on that how efficient or effective whatever you're doing is there. And the fourth one is how you're working beyond the boundaries of your company. Are you working with, say, external environment? Are you being smart about build versus buy? A lot of times I have seen teams trying to build rather than buy. So I think if we can look at each problem, each use case, and see what kind of solution, what kind of metric are there, would this use case be on these four categories, I think we will have a better and a quicker solution to these problems.
Great, a very comprehensive, sort of framework. Thank you, Jasdeep. So Jasdeep, AI, Gen AI these days are really needing a lot of resources in terms of compute, data, expertise, right? Skills. Now, from your standpoint, right? How do you ensure there's enough available of compute? What are strategies you're doing? Data and people, right? I think how are basically you making this really work for you, right? Then being a deterrent.
So as I said, the number one thing is the use case or the problem, the business problem which we are trying to solve. But I agree, the three foundational pillars, or some people have called it AI Trinity, the data, compute, and the algorithm, are very, very important. And if done the right way, it can actually give you a big jump start. So on the data front, I strongly believe that having a comprehensive data strategy and a plan to leverage all the data which is available is key. So what I would say is have a comprehensive data plan. Bring all your data together so that it can be leveraged in a smart way. When it comes to whether internal or external data, having a robust solution on cataloging, storing, effectively making sure that there are strict governance controls over what people can access, but at the same time the data is democratized, is very, very important. When it comes to compute, I think depending on the use case, we have to look at both the public cloud versus on-prem, high performance, clusters, edge computing. So I think the cost and value are very, very important, and a hybrid approach, depending on the situation, may work very well. Algorithms, we have seen a lot of development on this front in the last few years. I think GCCs which leverage the foundation, the frontier models effectively, would go a long way in developing quicker solutions. At the same time, new things will keep happening. Understanding that there are multiple ways to solve a given problem would always exist. For example, I know data scientists have strong views about prompt engineering, fine tuning, RAG, agentic AI. Yes, we need to debate, but at some point we need to also make sure that we can get things done and we can deliver results. So I think this space is still evolving. At the same time, we need to have a plan on all three to deliver value.
I think amazing answer. So, one more area is very important to any GCC, any company operating in multi, border scenario, right, or multiple different countries. The emerging trend of regulation, right? So regulation and regulators will work; they will do their part. But as technologists, right, we always want a very strong, stringent governance, right? We want some sort of guardrails, right? From your viewpoint, Jasdeep, how do you see, anyone should approach, building those guardrails which can make it safe for them, their users, both, right?
So first thing I think we should do is have a robust governance framework. Because without the framework, we don't know what we are checking against. Second, we need an effective monitoring system, because sometimes the framework is there, but is it being practiced or not? That's the missing piece. Third, how the first two are evolving. It's important not to just have a framework and then monitor, but then make sure that these are not keeping with the time. So that's number three. Fourth, I know the machines are becoming more powerful, and if you look at the fiction, the Hollywood, they would assume as if the machines are ready for everything. But I think it's still important to have human in the loop, depending on the use case. To what extent you want to do that is like, you need to also look at, if things go wrong, do you have the right checks and balances or not? And I think finally, what I think is most important, which as technologists we should do, is, do we have the right motivations, incentives for the practitioners? Are we sensitizing the practitioners on this, that it's not, yes, there's our checks and balancing, but what part they have to play to make sure that things work in an ethical, responsible manner. I think that's very important, that the developer, the practitioner community is fully into it to make sure that things go right.
Right. Probably the last question of the day, right? How do you see, the emerging trends in data, AI, and other new technologies coming and revolutionizing the BFSI sector? Right? How do you see that, Justin?
Okay, so one, I would say, see, these technologies have been developing over the last decade, but what I think is different now is that the maturity level has come to a point where commercialization is possible. So some of these things existed as a concept many decades ago. People had working models even a decade ago, but I think what's different right now is that for the first time, people are feeling that commercialization at a scale is possible. So that's, I think, that's both an opportunity and a challenge, that people who are able to do it, they would be more successful than others. So that's, I think, one trend. The second trend is that it's a technology, but I think businesses are understanding the power of this in a much better way. And as a result, there is a desire from business also to work with the technologist practitioners to come up with solutions which make a difference. Third, I think a lot of problems which we are facing on like what will AI do, the solution that's going to be a lot of focus area. That how do we explain AI? How do we make sure that it is seen as responsible? It is ethical. It's working for everyone. So that I think would be a key focus area going forward.
Great, Jasdeep. Thank you so much for taking us through your viewpoints, how AI is revolutionizing, transforming the whole BFSI and GCC sector. With that, we'll end. Thank you to you and all our audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ankit. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you.